Nigel, more good news coming out of the One Call Stadium. Stephen Quinn signing for you and the club on a permanent basis.
Yes, it was once we finished last season, a priority for us to tie him down once his contract with Burton finished, and delighted he's coming to join us for another season. I think everybody saw his attributes in the last few months of last season, and the quality I think he brings us on the ball stands out at times at this level. And his desire, it's not dwindled at all. He's 34, I think 34 years old now, something like that. But that desire, that burning passion is still there with him. Even in training you see it, where he gets upset if he's on the losing side and things like that. So I think those two attributes are going to be key for us next season.
Was it a straightforward decision from his perspective?
Yeah, I hope so. I think he had a bit of interest elsewhere as well, but once again he lives in Sheffield, and it suits him. I think it suits him, and he likes the way we play as well. I think the formations that we played towards the end of the season suits him, and I thought he linked up very, very well with Stephen McLaughlin.
When he came in and you sort of altered the shape of the midfield, I thought he transformed or helped transform the dynamic of the midfield.
Definitely, yeah, because he's such an intelligent player as well. You sort of play a narrow three, but all of a sudden he pops up on the left touch line, and he provides us with width when we want it. And also he weighed in with a couple of goals as well. He got two, did he, in the end, I think?
Yeah, I think it was two.
Yeah, he got 2 goals, which isn't bad from midfield over the course of the season. We'll be looking for sort of between 5 and 10 from him. He's not renowned for his goal scoring over the years, but we played him a bit deeper at Burton when we had him. But he's got more of a licence to go forward here. And say linking up with Stephen McLaughlin, he can get a few more goals.
Do you see him playing in the same position next season as he did last?
Yeah, I think depending on the formation, that's going to be fluid throughout the season. But we like to have the three in there most of the time to give us a bit of control and a bit of solidity. So left-hand side of the three, or he might pop up out wide. We see him in that position primarily.
I spoke to Ollie Clough at the end of last term, and he mentioned Stephen Quinn, and one of the outstanding qualities he remarked was his hunger, because you don't really get always at his age a player coming down to League Two that same drive and the will to succeed as the quality that he has.
No, we didn't really know him when he came to Burton because he'd retired. He was on holiday a couple of years ago, or whatever, and he'd actually decided to retire. And then while he was out there, he thought, I might sort of give it one more go. And Chris Morgan, who worked at Sheffield United, is his mate, and phoned us and said, listen, little Quinn, says, can he come and do some training with you? And he joined in for a week or two, and within a few days we're saying, listen, do you want to sign for us, if your knee's up to it? And we have to keep an eye on that as well, manage his injuries. But right from day one, that hunger and that desire is still there in abundance.
What difference does he make, therefore, on a day-to-day basis?
Well, like Ollie Clark, who's as competitive as you'll get, he's remarking on it, to you, saying, I tell you what, Quinny's still hungry, and it's infectious, it spreads. And when you're in his team, first of all, if you're not in his team, you don't want to play against him in the 8-a-sides or whatever. And when you're in his team, he demands of you, and that's a good thing. He demands of the young lads in the right way. He has a little go at them when they need to, because he wants to win every single 7 or 8-a-side that he plays in. And he keeps the score of the games that he's won, and he'll win one sometimes on a Friday and he'll say, that's the first one I've won for the last 4, and he'll know how many games he's won in training. That's how competitive he is.
What targets were you setting? Get a few more goals?
Yeah, get a few more goals, but just keep playing. I think he got a bit fitter as the season went on. I think his running stats, I think in one of the last 2 games, was highest of the loan spell. So just got to manage him, as I say, at his age with his knees. But even if he's out there for 70 minutes, which he did a lot of 70 minutes last season for us, didn't he? 75 minutes or whatever. I think the impact he can have in that time is certainly worth having him around.
Just for confirmation, is your midfield concrete now?
Yeah, never, because people will vie for places pre-season. But I think the 3 that played towards the end of the season, I think Ollie Clark, George Maris and Stephen Quinn, I think we're going to have to go a long way to improve on those 3.
It's strong, isn't it? I mean, I can't recall, from what I saw last season, and given their pedigree, a stronger midfield in quite some time here than this.
I hope not, and I hope they all stay fit and they play well. That's the only thing. Ollie Clark had injuries last season. Laps was injured, and you say Quinn won't play 50 games for us. So we need to make sure that the lads coming in for them as well are good enough, and that's where the strength of the squad. As I say, it won't be a massive squad. It'll be that sort of 16, 17, 18 nucleus, and I think we'll be covered well enough, providing we don't get 5 or 6 injuries, or you get 2 or 3 in one position. That's the only time it can cause a problem.